Hello, everybody, and welcome to the January 13th Trips and Traps. I'm Andy Serling and Eric Donovan.
We got two segments to bring you, 6 races all together. Let's get started with race number 7 from January 6th, which was Wednesday. We're going to take a look at the 6 Good Day and the 9 Ravenous in a race that was pretty much controlled on the front end and inside.
Yeah, I thought the first 2 to 3 days of the week, last week, were inside-y racetracks. Even though the race didn't always play out in such a manner, I think it was a dynamic situation sometimes. And this was a race with the 6 Good Day, and we're showing in the back of the pack. And I don't think she broke really slowly. She just ends up being rated here. They looked like, on paper, they were going to hook up. Now, the fans bet the race like they weren't going to hook up because Yo Karakorum was a 2-to-1 favorite and bet like she'd be loose, and she was loose. Ravenous, with the outside post, she's a sort of tweener, a stalker, but not really, and she never gets a breather chasing wide, and it feels like maybe the connections tried to rate Good Day to see how it works out, and she actually ran okay.
Yeah, I don't know why you would try that on the inner track of all times of year to try it, but you know, we'll see how Good Day goes forward. But you see here the race kind of developing with the Yo Karakorum in front with a pretty easy lead in here, and the horse that's going to win the race, Daily Star, coming up the rail in about 3rd right now. So you see dynamics here in favor of the horses running toward the inside and up toward the front.
Yeah, and Ravenous, I thought, ran very well, never tired. I mean, chasing 3 and 4 wide on the inner, if the rail is strong, is an impossible trip. And I thought she never stopped running. Good Day, maybe the connections thought, you know what, if we get into a heated speed duel with Yo Karakorum, we're not winning. Let's see if she can rate and run effectively at all. I thought Richard Migliore did a good job. She was 3 wide for most of the turn, but he did angle her inside. She got through. I don't know how well she finished, and when you think about the fact that she just beat Ravenous by about a head in here, and Ravenous was chasing wide the whole way, I thought Ravenous ran much better. And Ravenous was a horse that had run that decent race with a very good trip and winning a race in Aqueduct, and then 2 clunkers down in the Mid-Atlantic tracks, sort of the opposite of what we see a lot, where they run well down there and don't run well here. I think Ravenous in the right spot might be okay next time.
Yeah, I think you might be right there. A little bit more pace and maybe more even racetrack for Ravenous. And I guess you could say the same thing, too, for Good Day. You know, maybe next time out they'll just try to get a stalking position rather than try to come from so far back.
It'll be interesting to see what she does next time. The one horse that I do not want to touch is Yo Karakorum. And I know she drifted off the rail in the stretch, but once she got clear in the lead like that, she's supposed to win the race. I don't know what situation is going to happen for her that she's going to win a race, and I look forward to her being in a race and betting against her.
Yeah, I don't know that I'd want too much of Daily Star next time out either, coming up the inside the whole way. And, you know, if Yo Karakorum goes on with it, Daily Star is clearly second there. Daily Star doesn't win the race.
I agree. If Yo Karakorum maybe stayed inside and Daily Star had to go outside, it would have helped Yo Karakorum being inside. Daily Star was off that little bit of a layoff, a couple of months, but I tend to agree with you. I thought that she had everything go her own way.
All right, let's move on to the second race we'll do in the first segment here, the 8th race from January 7th. We'll take a look at the 2B Gridiron.
Yeah, and actually, Gridiron's horse trained by John Terranova, who trained Daily Star. So while we're not thrilled with Daily Star going forward, I thought Gridiron, not that there's no trouble in these races, but I think these become dynamics and inside trips and how the races are run. And Gridiron, who was coming off a long layoff and a disappointing effort in its prior start after winning his maiden first time out with a decent trip, but running pretty well, he chases 4 wide, and this was a race where the winner of the race, this was the second big win for Have You Ever, when he was able to take advantage of being lone speed on the inside.
Yeah, lone speed on the inside works out well for Have You Ever here, and you see the stablemate of Have You Ever, Great Emperor, who was on the rail a little bit earlier now in about the 2 path, sitting in 5th right now. These are the horses that are going to run 1-2 in the race. Montecore, the favorite in the race, the heavy favorite, giving chase in 2nd. He's going to fade in the stretch a little bit, and Chestnut Jesse there as well. But, you know, where is Gridiron going at this point?
Right, I mean, he's 4 wide. You know, Chestnut Jesse, I don't know how good Chestnut Jesse is. I'm not sure how good Gridiron is, to be fair. But Chestnut Jesse was another one who chased 3 wide in here. If you liked him, maybe he stretches out. You like him next time. I'm not a big fan. Gridiron, the 4 wide chase, I know he doesn't run anywhere. But you know what? It was off that long layoff. He's in an impossible spot trying to do something that's not going to work no matter what. And I thought maybe when he's second off a layoff, he's a horse who could be a good price in the right spot, fair racetrack. He could win or be part of the exact at a big price.
Yeah, I don't know if he's good enough to win an allowance company here. Maybe it might take the right kind of allowance spot. You know, I thought maybe a 2 lifetime claimer might be a little bit more up his alley.
Yeah, I'd be surprised if they drop him that quickly. I'll give him a chance. The right spot. See where he goes. It's just definitely a race where I would throw it out and put a little asterisk by it and say it's a better performance perhaps than it looks.
We'll move on to January 8th now, and we'll take a look at race number 2. We're interested in the 1A Red Barchetta and the 4 Captain in here, and the horse that wins the race, Valeri Canteri, going to go away to an easy lead and a big win.
Yeah, Caftan, if you mispronounce now, so one more time I'm going to make you wear a caftan on the show next time you're on.
Did I say caftan?
It's debatable. Red Barchetta is the worst. Valari Cantari wins this race by about 47 lengths in here, and one of those impressive inter-track wins. But I thought of a couple of interesting things. Caftan finishes second here, and this was a first-time starter out of Jill Bob was the dam, and she won the coaching club. This is a darling horse. People are going to like this horse next time. I'm not going to. Red Barchetta, who's coming off a layoff here, is the horse chasing Valari Cantari. And for my money, Red Barchetta is the one you want when this field gets together again. And you have to think there's a good chance they will, because she goes on the outside chase, chasing a runaway winner. And you know, Cici Lopez rode this horse well. He did everything. He didn't do anything wrong. He was trying to win. And had he just tucked back in and sat second and conceded the race, she would have run second here. But he's out there to win the race, and he did what he could to win the race. But in doing so, it cost her second. And that's what happens when you have chasers. Caftan, who's not in the picture now, just comes clunking along on the inside. As everybody folds, I don't think she really accelerated.
There's no doubt in my mind that there's only two horses that did any running in this race. Obviously the winner, the 5 of Valari Cantari, and also the horse that's sitting second right now, Red Barchetta. The rest of them just kind of pick up the pieces here. And you know, like you said, if Red Barchetta sits back and you know, sits about 3 or 4 lengths farther back than where he was or where she was earlier on, then maybe she does hold second here. But chasing a sharp horse like Valari Cantari, you're not going to get it done here. And you'll see Caftan come up the inside here, getting very lucky to be able to maneuver through that inside spot.
Yeah, I mean, it was a good ride by the rider. It's just a very fortunate situation where Red Barchetta tires from chasing, and everybody else is just falling apart completely and not running. And she just sort of does a little running at the end, but it would be a totally different dynamic if they met next time, if Caftan and Red Barchetta met, even if Red Barchetta didn't make the lead, and she could comfortably rate, because she's not going to be chasing a monster like this in all likelihood. So it'll be an easier spot for her, and Caftan won't get a race that's collapsing in front of her to pick up the pieces. So in a fairly run race next time, there's no doubt in my mind Red Barchetta can beat Caftan, even though she finishes 6-7 lengths behind her.
Biggest disappointment in the race in my mind was Congabella, the horse that actually went off favored over Valari Cantari, a horse, the second-time starter from Dutro that did no running whatsoever.
She did not, and she had run okay in her first start, but you know what? Maybe she's a sprint, probably not that talented anyway, and Rick's smart. He might give her one more maiden special shot. In all likelihood, he'll drop her into a maiden claimer. But you also have to think she'll be turning back, because she didn't show any speed at the start for a horse stretching out, and that's, I think, the biggest knock. She should have had a little bit more speed. Maybe a turn back helps, or maybe she's just not that good. All
right, that'll do it for the first segment here on Trips and Traps. Keep in mind that we love to hear your viewer comments, and we love to listen to them and see them via email at tripsandtraps@NYRAinc.com.
Thanks a lot for watching.
Come on back for the second segment.